Look at y'all up in here this morning. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Good morning, Kalisha. Good morning, KT. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning, Farah. Good morning, Mario. Good morning, Cornelius. Let's go. All right. I just got down here, so let me get myself together. How many people are on their computer? Because I'm gonna show you some stuff for your desktop as well, and I'll be working from my desktop this morning. Um, just so I'm, doing the right thing, because it's the right thing to do. So here are all my notebooks and everything. So we're going to let me put my phone up because I'm gonna record this. So good morning. Can y'all hear me? Can everybody hear me? Yes, no, maybe so. Hello. I need to know if you can hear me. Holla if you hear me. All right, KT, thank you so much. All it only takes one. Will there be one? All right. So let me just gauge the room. Who has taken a course? Just do the little raise your hand or, you know, s- something that lets me know that you have taken a course. If you have not, it's fine. I'll get to you in a second. I just want to see what I'm working with here because this is actually going to be question based. It's going to be interactive learning. So nobody has taken a course. Well, Dwayne, I know you've taken it, but anybody else? Let me scroll because I have to remember. Oh, I have to remember this doesn't auto scroll. Driving to work. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Airplane. Hold on just a second. I got a little startup that I do for myself. So these are all of the screens that I have up. I'll type them up, but I'm going to tell them to y'all now. So everybody has a way where they can check the credit of anybody that they want to work with. If not, let me know. I have a default one for you that you can use to check the credit, but then you'll still, if you have a factoring company, you'll still have to see if your factoring company accepts them. But if not, this just lets move forward with working with them because they do pay and they can afford to pay. I'm just trying to get some little things out of the way. Um, so I'm going to type on here all of the screens that well, you don't need to, but to have up daily if you operate on your computer. So you'll need your Google Maps, your load boards, of course, Safer. Have the Safer website up so you can look at the little snapshots of your potential clients. That's for those who want to be dispatchers. And actually across the board. You okay, so this is what I need you to do. I'm going to write down who needs what. So after I make sure I get it over to you. Is that okay, Kalisha? La Paris. Kalisha. La Paris. Good morning, La Paris, too. Rogers. Credit check method. KT, all right. And y'all forgive me if I'm a little slow. I'm a little old school, but this is the one way I know how to make sure I keep it honest and I make sure you get what you need. And I'll put it up here so when we come. And we only talk about Farah. Ktfarah. Zipporah. Good morning, Zipporah. Zipporah. KT Pet. Okay, and then if anybody else needed, they'll let me know. Okay, so if you're on your computer, bring up your, or you can do it on your phone, as long as you're sitting still. These are kind of things that are at home. Okay, all right, La Paris. So get your safer up, your factoring company if you have one, your FMSCA, I mean FMCSA. My goodness, FMCSA, your DAT. If you have a TMS system, the weather and the road condition, and I have all the websites for these that I'll post after as well. So, what is it? I want kind of want to move where you all need to move, but these are the things that I have up on my computer daily. Um, and these are how I function. So this is how I know, you know, I can see where the driver going, even though he has his stuff on his map, because I use my Google Maps. Of course, I use my load boards, and I have a factoring company, which is Porter. So I have that up. So I do credit checks through there. My FMCSA website, my DAT board. I don't have a TMS system. I actually have a program that I use that I got bought from somebody. The weather, keep the weather, especially now, keep the weather up and road conditions. And like I said, I'll post all of those websites when we're done. Today is just more introductory, trying to see where we are, how we can gauge. Once I get all this stuff up, when we come on tomorrow or whenever you all are more comfortable, I prefer to do it, kind of back to back, so you stay together. So everybody knows what a dispatcher is. We are the liaison, so to speak, between the freight broker and the owner operators, carriers, drivers. So I want to start with some questions. So how I start my morning is I'm up at 6:45. I look at the load boards, I look at the weather, and I just try to see. I already know what my owner operator wants. I know where he wants to go, and these are things that are important. So these might, little tidbits that you want to keep in mind or write down. So I know where my owner operator wants to go. I know what days he wants to work and what days he doesn't. Um, I know where he wants to go, where he doesn't. These, excuse me, are very important when you take on a carrier, on an own operator. So I sent everyone, I think I sent out my dispatcher packet. So I'm going to go through that so you all know what to do. And this information is good also for owner operators and carriers who dispatch themselves. You don't necessarily have to have this, but I just want you to be familiar with, what's going on. But for those who are going to dispatch, so if you have my packet and you can pull it up, that's fine. But if not, I'm just going to go through it really quickly so you know what to look for and what your role is. So this is going to be pretty much high level overview, and my more detail will be in the questions. This way, I'm only talking about what I know you need to know or where you feel is comfortable, and where you are. Is that all right? I'm gonna do a little pause so I can gauge. I need you all to, you have to say something. Hello? Is that all right? Hello? Am I frozen? Okay, thank you so much. All right, so I'm gonna just do a rundown of what I send out to my owner operators after I interview them. Interviewing is important. Anybody who wants you to dispatch for them, make sure they're going to interview you. It would have come from mking@empteenest.com. That's M as in Mary, K as in kite, I as in igloo, N as in Nancy, G as in George, at E as in Edward, M as in Mary, M as in Mary, T as in Tom, E as in Edward, E as in Edward, N as in Nancy, E as in Edward, S as in Sam, T as in Tom.com. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, so interviewing is important because you need to talk to someone before you take them on. Because if you discover things that are not for you or don't work for you after you have taken someone on, it becomes problematic and stressful. So you want to have your interview questions ready, which I'll post those. These will all be in documents. So interview questions, just high level of things that'll get them to talking, and you can say, okay, so you want to you interview them, you want to find out what their needs are. You want to make sure you know, and do not take their word for it. When you ask how long have they had their authority, ask for their authority number. Authority and MC number is the same thing. And then you get on Safer and you look them up, because there is nothing worse than someone telling you, because they're in the interview, and of course we have all interviewed before, so we say all of the things. Oh, do you have a college degree? Oh, yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I did 5 years at Harvard. I did the fifth one, as an awesome intern, because I was just so great there. And oh yes, I've worked with several companies, and here's my resume, not knowing at the time that they're going to really look into this. So you done had all your friends, from the community college, get you hooked up, but these people are going to bypass them. So interview them, because the longer you talk to somebody, you will start to see the interview person fall down, and the person who they really are and they're really going to be is going to come forward. And this may seem really basic to y'all, but when you start to get the experience, this is just like, ooh, she was trying to. I didn't think that that was important, but it's the little things in this that will make or break you. So you want to know, what their needs are. You want to find out how long they had their authority. Um, you want to find out what they need to pay. What do you need this truck to do for your life? Because this is important. Because if someone has purchased that truck, and this is all dispatcher action, they have purchased that truck. They are When someone hires a dispatcher, they are basically putting their business in your hands. And you have to make sure that you can nurture that business. So make sure you ask, what does this truck have to do for you? And sometimes they don't know how to answer the question. So you'll go into okay, are you just paying? Do you just need to pay the insurance and gas on this truck? Does this truck need to pay your household bills? Does this truck need to help your mama pay her bills? What do you need to make for this? My driver, I'm gonna always keep mine as an example because that's who I know. So that's the only way I can give y'all a real example. So mine, new authority. Well, we almost knocking on 90 days in a little bit, but we're gonna start from a new authority because that's what I know. So when they first came to me, they wanted to they understood that I was new because we interviewed. I understood that they were new. I was knowledgeable. We have to be knowledgeable. We may not have to know every single FMCSA rule, and we may not have to know all the consequences that they may go through as far as what they need to do to establish their business, but we do need to get ourselves abreast with them and familiar with them, but that's not your complete focus. And when you familiarize yourself with that and you know all of those are things that you can calculate into your percentage, because now once they know that I'm pretty sure they're going to want you to keep them up. Let them know. I do small things like I keep up with their, the insurance and stuff, and I'll give them a heads up when it's going to expire. Little things, but not too much because I only charge 8%. So if you want me to keep abreast of all of the rules and regulations from the FMCSA and all of this owner operator stuff, then we're going to go into 10%. First of all, I'm going to learn it. And then I'm going to charge you 10% because now I have gained some more knowledge that's going to help you out and take a task off you. So you need to compensate me for that. Am I talking good for y'all right now? If now, if you have some specifics, please ask them. I'm just giving, information, high level overview, helping you understand your role as a dispatcher, helping you see why you are necessary and why you are vital and important to a owner operator's business. So find out what that truck needs to do for them. My owner operators, again, they were new. I was new. I gave them the information. It is our job to educate the owner operator carrier because 9 times out of 10, they know what they needed to do to purchase that truck, to get insurance on that truck, and follow the FMCSA rules to get that truck on the road. What they do not know is what we know. They do not think of what this needs to pay for them. Not all the time. Some of them do. You have people who come from different backgrounds. They know. They just when they do know, they like, I don't have time for this. So, um, so what does the truck need to do for them? So once I had my new owner operator, and I explained to them, okay, your authority is new. And when you educate them, they respect you, and you all know my owner operators, Kalisha, actually found me. I have no idea how. And again, y'all know how I am on the thankful tip. I, I'll bust out in a praise and give thanks in a minute. But the good thing about us is in our group, we have dispatchers, we have owner operators, we have carriers. So I hope that we just in turn as the owner operators in this group establish their businesses, that they will turn to the dispatchers in here to assist with their business if they want a dispatcher, because they know that you know what you're doing, that you know what you're talking about, and they are coming from up under the same learning, so to speak, as you. So this is why it is important to me to keep the group small, because we need to interact and know who's here. And that's why every 3 days I go and do a clean out. I cannot operate in stagnant, because when you all came here, you wanted to learn this, you wanted to find out that, but to come here and sit idle, that's not going to happen, because that shows me either you're not operating in your business or you're just here to take. And you need to give as much as you take. And a little conversation and saying thank you and interacting with each other is all that I would like to see. So, um, and we'll talk about that too, Kalisha, because I also know I'll give you all a hashtag when you're ready, because the things that I'm going to give you, I want to prepare you. Good morning, good morning, Barbara. I want to prepare you. So when I start to give you hashtags and certain things that I find out that are going to help you to get owner operators, you need to be ready to receive them, because these people, they do call. They do call, they do watch. And even you all, you're here because there was something about me that said, I want to talk to her. I want to interact with her. So when you start to post your things and watch these groups, You serial group hoppers. I bless you. But watching these groups, because what'll happen is the more you learn here, when you're in those other groups and you start to see people asking questions that you know the answer to, this is how you're going to find owner operators as well. When you answer, excuse me, when you answer those questions, your inbox is going to start going to full. Hey, I saw that you was answering questions in this group. I liked your vibe. I liked how you operated. I'm looking for somebody. And be prepared to educate, because I'm going to tell you what's happening. My chair don't went low and I can't deal too much with that. But I'm going to tell you how this works. Be ready to educate them, because when I first started, I was in groups answering questions because I had the knowledge before I had a client. So I had an understanding. So I would answer questions, and again, the bullying, and you will have people who don't really talk in there, but they'll be in your inbox. Hey, I saw you answer this question. I want to get started. So I would tell them what to do. I would give them the whole rundown. Now, mind you, I started in July. I have some of those same people who ask me questions on how to do that. They're now ready or getting ready, or they're down to the last steps. And they're like, I want you. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. However, the only reason that it won't happen is because right now I am working on operating in balance, and I'm trying to make sure that I have the proper time to come on here and be with you all. Now I still do have to take on, and the carriers that I am going to take on, the owner operators at this point for me, they have to have a CDL. And the reason for that is I need them to have a CDL. And if you have some endorsements with the CDL, that's fine too. That's just a bonus. But for me right now, in order for me to do what I need to do for the people here, I need an easy carrier. I need to be able to just do what I need to do, line him up, and get him set so I can come on here and spend time. And I cannot take on a new authority because that takes time. And right now, my priority is you all in my current carrier. So I have to do what makes sense, because I don't want to be one that has created something and I don't have time for y'all. That's not okay. And I'm getting a little sidetracked, but I always want to be having understanding. Okay, so you won't, but you cold calling, Miss Barbara. So in your cold calling, are you prepared for somebody to bite? And while you think about that, I'm gonna go to the packet. Well, back to what you're gonna be needing. You're welcome, Toya. You're welcome, KT. So what does a truck need to do for them? For mine, they had the new authority. I let them know that with a new authority, you're not going to be able to get much. With your truck size, you're going to be limited as well. Now, I'm going to be honest. My carriers, they did dupe me a little bit on the front end, because when I asked them, they were in position to buy 4 trucks. Then when we talked, which they still were, but I let them know that you're just starting your business. You got you're in position to buy 4 trucks, but you only got one booty to put in one truck. Do that make sense? Huh? No. So I said, get a 26 foot, because as I'm researching, I'm seeing that the 24 is is limited. Oh, we got the 26. We got the 26. We're going with the 26. So we interviewed. There's two of them. They're partners. One of them, both of them are. Well, one of them is a college graduate, and he worked top notch at his company. So he's the one that went in chasing money. The other one, he owns businesses. He understands how business works. He went into business with his partner, which they're related. One was chasing money, one was operating in reality. Hold on to that little, because we're gonna revisit it. So I let them the one who's gonna drive the truck at first, the one who owns his own businesses. I let him know, him know this is it's not easy. You all got a new authority. Um, talk about talk to about 10 so. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, you like me. I had years and years of customer service. Um, so I talked to the one who's going to be driving, and I let him know A, B, C, and D. Okay, you all have a new authority. It's not going to be easy. Get this size truck. Oh, okay, all right. Understand, sir, that this is not going to be quick money. So our conversation was like, he understand. I have two businesses already that I have established. I know that within the first year, you're not gonna hardly make any money. But if you can just set us up where, and again, I asked, what will you need to pay? Can we see if we can just make the insurance payment and the gas per week? That's the insurance payment is $3,000. I was able to write down 3 grand, $500 for the gas, 24 foot box after the fact. But so then he was like, okay, now you got to talk to my partner. Now let me tell you about my partner. Okay, he works, he went to college, and he is very, very hard to sell on something. You ain't said nothing slick to a can of oil. I know what I do. I know what I'm talking about. So a couple of days later, I talked to the partner. Of course, the partner is, in full corporate mode. Yes, such and such was telling me about you, and he was letting me know. So tell me, why should we choose you? What are the reasons that we should go with your company? I mean, he told me some things, and they did intrigue me. Talking good. You know us. So I let him know. Listen, I am ready. I'm about my business. I have educated him. I don't call myself a dispatcher. I'm an advocate for you. And these are the things that I do for you. I make connections for your company. I make contact for you on a consistent basis. I represent your company, and I treat your company as if it was mine. I do not allow anybody to handle your company or your business name in any type of way. And as long as we are on the up and doing what we're supposed to be doing, and we don't violate any connections that I'm making in the name of your company, we will be well and we will do well. Your partner has already let me know that I informed him, and I know that he informed you that you all are a new company, you are a new authority. So, what I will be realistically able to do for you is get the gas weekly and the $3,000 that you all pay monthly. He was like, oh, wow, okay. So, what is it that you can do that I wouldn't be able to do for myself? I said, well, your partner let me to know that you are full time and you're in corporate, correct? Yes, I am. I said, do you have the time to research, go on Craigslist, look on DAT boards? Do you have the time to make calls for everything that come up that may be a potential for you? Do you have the time to make connections and go ahead and get some contracts going for your truck so you're not consistently running over the road, aimlessly trying to make money to cover the bills that this truck is going to cost you? Then he went mute. I had to say hello. He said, I just had to put the phone on mute for a minute because I won't lie. I knew that I was going to be working with a black lady. We don't get good reps for black businesses, but you have wowed me in just a few minutes. I said, and that is what I'm going to continue to do. So, are we going to move forward? Because I actually have to make sure that I'm keeping myself educated and my time has to go towards something meaningful. After that, it was a wrap. So, I was able to find out what their needs was, interview them, see how long the information was. Come to find out, they had a 24-foot box, which made my mission more challenging. But nonetheless, we made it through. But these are things that you have to ask and you have to know. And when they were able to let me know that first month, I'm not gonna lie, but they knew they were prepared for not making any money. The first month, we made $1,000. The first month we made $1,000, but that was more than what it was expected. Then the second month, that was September. The second month I had a goal set for $8,000 because things started looking up for them in the market. But we only made $1,400. Well, came November, I set the goal for $10,000 because we were as growing and we were making a little bit more money. And this is what I was foreseeing. But as you can see, the reality was not that. So in November, I set the goal of 10 grand. We made $10,943.04. So let me tell you what changed. As the authority got over 30 days and it started moving, more options opened up. So I was still on load boards and on Craigslist and stuff and just calling. And in the meantime, I was applying for stuff for them. I applied for Amazon. And these are all things that I did silently. Because one thing you'll have to know, well, once you find out what their interests are, you need to know what to and what not to tell your owner operator. See, I know that okay, one of the partners lives here in Georgia where I live, and the other one lives in Florida. I know that I can contact the one in Florida and tell him what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do. So, don't do A, B, and C because I'm waiting on something, right? And he is also the one where the truck is. So I don't need to, I know that the one here in Georgia, I cannot call and tell him. I don't, first of all, need to call and tell him anything because he doesn't have the truck. He doesn't drive it. He just went into partnership and reaps the benefits. So, and I also know that I cannot call him and tell him what I'm working on because then he feels like he got to keep calling me and texting me. How's that going? Did you get a follow up? Did you get a woo woo woo? And we don't need anything extra because you will find that this being a dispatcher can borderline be stressful, especially when you cannot find anything. And I have talked to people. Now, this is why it's important to keep your owner operators updated, and it is important to always be realistic with them. Because when we were in that first 30 days, first 45 days also, um, there were days when they could not go anywhere because there was nothing for them. It was either the truck wasn't big enough or your authority isn't old enough. But when we had those days, it wasn't upsetting to them because in the beginning I had set the expectation. So the fact that we even made $1,000, $1,050 that first month, that first day, it was we were already ahead. And the fact that we made 1,400 that second month, which we were still in the 30, like 35, 40 days, that was just like woo. So as I got in contact with Amazon and all different things. When Amazon, I filled out them for Amazon, and they sent me back and said that they didn't have enough insurance. They had to have a certain kind of insurance. So I contacted the one out of Florida, and I said, "Listen, I worked on this. You all are maybe going ahead and get on with Amazon. The only thing that's holding us back is they say we need this insurance." So he said, okay, I will contact my insurance guy. I will submit this. But he said to me, do you feel like us increasing this insurance will be worth it going with Amazon? Because, in our conversation, we already weren't making much. So they really wasn't seeing a return on their purchase. But I had to assure him because before I presented that to them, I joined these Amazon groups and I started looking and seeing what people was doing, looking and seeing what they were making, and looking to see if that was something that I could assist them with doing, and would it be worth them increasing their insurance. That's why their insurance is now $3,000 a month instead of whatever it was before. And the only reason I know that it's 3,000 a month is because when they added the insurance and it went to 3,000 a month, they were like, we need to revisit the conversation. Now, if we go with Amazon, we need to now, instead of just making the gas per month, We need to now lift gate, please. Fold under lift gate two, the one that folds under the truck. KT. I don't have a suggestion on one. I just know that it has to have a lift gate, and the lift gate has to fold under the truck. So when they did that and they increased the insurance, they said we now need to at least make 3,000 a month, so we can cover this new insurance. And they still understood that we got to grow. Well, that was November. So I recalibrated them and I said, okay, I got on the Amazon load board and I started looking, just looking and researching. And I said, I redid my stuff. I said, I now see my way and I can make them $3,000 a week. But I did not tell them that. Our new goal was now to make at least $3,000 a month to cover that insurance and then at least the gas per week. Well, getting on with Amazon was a game changer that I did not disclose to them. So when we got on, we did the first load. It was for $810. Went from Florida to Georgia. We did that. We did it on time. And then after that, we took one more load from Amazon. After that load, I started seeing us increasing, getting more, and I started seeing the money go up. So of course, I got the truck back to Florida, which where it originates, and then I started getting them all the loads. So for the month of November, now let me run you back. In September, we made $1,050. The goal was $0. In October, I had plotted up from looking 8 grand, but come to find out all the denials, we only made 1,400 that month. All this time now, and this is another thing, you all, as a dispatcher, you do a lot of work for no pay. But when the pay happens, it's good. So you have to do a lot of things on your own because you have to remember you got to pull whatever strategies you can to keep that truck rolling because the more they roll, you're going to get paid. They actually brought I actually okay, so the good thing about they hired a driver, but before they got the driver, it was just the two. I didn't have to deadhead them back from Georgia, but they did sit some days in Georgia, but the one partner is here. So the good thing is they didn't have to pay hotel. So I don't know what that noise was, but I happened to find them something from Georgia to Florida. It was something that it went, they had to pick it up in like South Carolina or something that came on. It was something, but I made sure that it was worth, it covered any type of deadhead and made a little overage. I think I found them something back like $900. But that that was from sitting for days sometimes. So I got them that. Okay. So we got on with Amazon. So I reconstructed my books, but I didn't tell them because they don't need to know what I'm doing. They just need to know there's some money coming in. And they know and they trust that you're doing something on the up and up. So I was saying, you as a dispatcher, you use up a lot of time for no pay. But the more that you do, it becomes lucrative because the more you can keep them rolling, everybody is well. So I set up when they got the 3,000. I looked when I got on Amazon. Well, like I said, oh, I see that I can make them about 3,000 a week. I said 3,500 is going to be my goal because it costs them $500 to fill up the thing a week. And then I'm gonna make 3 grand, for the insurance. But instead of me making it per month, I'm gonna make that insurance and that gas every week. That was my goal. I wrote it down. Well, I set it in my mind. I wrote it down. I said what I had to do on the prayer tip for it. I folded it. And every morning that I got up, I said, today we're going to make no less than $700. Today, every day, I said that. And that first week at Amazon, we did 47 something. the next week at Amazon. So this month, well, that was in November. So we did 1 week there. In the month of November, we made, my goal was $10,000. We made $10,943.04. Now that was with Amazon, plus we did some loads off the load board, just some miscellaneous ones. So this month, my goal is to make them $14,000. This month hasn't ended yet, but right now I'm almost sure that I've passed that already. So as a dispatcher, it is our job, and as y'all see, we went from 1,000 to 1,400 to 10,000, and now this month it's going to be over 14 grand. So it's our job to sit and figure out how we can help in an upward direction. And I've told you all before, we make between 6 and 7 grand a week. We make about $4,700 a week. Excuse me, between 47 and five a week. Because last week we made 4,999. Oh, nine. We mixed 5 grand by $6 and some change. But we do the Amazon at night. If you have the Amazon and you have a box truck, you know the majority, the loads for those are overnight. So they hired a driver. The driver does the Amazon loads overnight, and the original owner operator during the day, I will find them some miscellaneous loads. We make 47 to 5,000 on Amazon alone, and then I'll find them when the owner operator wants to work. I'll find him some miscellaneous loads around Florida, which will equal about between 2,000 and 2,300 a week. And I've said this before also, but those loads are like, they may be like $200-300 each. So they're adding up to that amount if he wants to go out during the daytime 3 or 4 days. So those are how some weeks we may have 6 or 7 grand weeks. So I want to stress that because I am not the one that say I oh, let me dispatch you. I can make you 7 grand a week. No, we make between 47 and 5 grand on our overnight runs to Amazon, and then we take on some days when the owner operator wants to, we'll take some miscellaneous day loads, which sometimes can equal us up to a $7,000 week. So I can say for sure thus far on Amazon that I have been able to get loads that have equaled up for my owner operator at least $4,700 a week. That's the reality of what I've done for my current client. This is important because when we pitch, you do not want to be the one saying, "Oh, I can get you 7 grand a week," and you cannot say that or guarantee that or anything without talking to somebody, knowing what their needs are, and knowing the reality of what their equipment can do for them. It's not fair to the owner operator, and it's not eventually going to be fair or nice for you, because what happens is when you don't, right, I make it my business to make that insurance money every week, even though it only needs to be paid once a month. And the reason that I set them up for that, like that, which is I'm so thankful that it's working out like that, because when things slow down, they have made that insurance payment over and over. So hopefully I don't know what people do with their money, but I always let them know there's going to be a slow period. There's going to be a slow period. When December 1st came, we had a whole meeting. I said, y'all watch out. The second week of January is coming. That's when things are projected to slow down. So we've been making this, 45 to $4,700 a week, and that's beautiful. However, reality is coming. And it's okay, because even if you give them the opportunity to say, "I remember, I know," but you got to keep it fresh on their minds. So when this 4,700 5 grand a week starts to slow down, you don't have to explain it. They already know. You know what? She told us. You know what? He told us. So this is the time. Now, from previous, speaking on things are going to slow down the second week of January. From previous, what I've researched and what I've seen the truckers, the industry say that things slow down the second week of January. I'm not sure how that applies to a box truck, because this will be my first experience, seeing how it slow down. However, I'm not sure if past things will apply to current things because I've said this before too. If the incoming president makes everybody sit their behind down for a month, there may not be a slowdown because that means that Amazon and all of these people, the essentials will still be running. So we're gonna play that by ear and we're gonna see how that goes. You need to take your monthly expenses divided by 4. This will give you your amount needed to make. Come on, Isaiah, teach us on today. Exactly. And another thing I'll say, everybody's experience and outcome is different. This just so happened to be my experience and my outcome with this particular client. So the fact that it's less than a year and they're already starting to see a little, some profit, that isn't always the outcome and that isn't continuous. This is just right now, the flow is happening, but just literally like that. Because last week we had a horrible week. I've been, I took class, Barbara, I took class, just KT, just a question. If you was to take on another owner operator, would you have to apply for? Yes, you have to have your own account because they only pay the account holder. So if you are to get on with Amazon, and let me say this, if you decide to take somebody on and y'all go into agreement and all of that, you are actually going to be operating like that person is your employee because Amazon does direct deposit into that account holder's account, and then it'll be up to you to disperse payment to whoever you allow to run under your account. Um, so that one is that, KT. Barbara, how long have you been dispatching trucking? Barbara, I took a freight broker class in the end of February of this year, but I decided quickly that wasn't for me and dispatching was for me. I took the dispatcher course right after that in March, but I didn't do anything with it yet. And then I think a couple of months later, I took a hot shot class so I could know how to do that. But I didn't officially start until July of this year. So, as the people who've been on here know that I come on and talk about and tell y'all and bring y'all up to speed on what I've learned and experienced so far. Um, my company also has a factoring company. Not my company, my clients. They use Porter. So would that be fuel as well? Oh, she's talking to Toya. Um, so the little miscellaneous loads that we do during the week, I submit those to Porter, and Porter actually pays me. Now, dispatchers, if y'all want to go with Porter, let me tell y'all something. My clients have Porter. Porter is their factoring company. My clients have it set up that when I submit their BOLs, when Porter gets paid, my clients get paid, and Porter pays my client, and Porter pays me. So my client, I don't have to wait to get paid by my client. They have me, excuse me, set up at the factoring company that every day and a half or 2 days that they get paid, I get my direct deposit at the same time as them. When I tell you I love that because I don't have to wait. Now I wait for them to pay me from Amazon, and that's because I'm in control of the account, so I know when they get paid. I know when they got to pay me. But the miscellaneous loads that we do outside of Amazon, I get paid every day, pretty much on the days that he wants to work. I get paid almost every day because they pay them in like a day and a half. So where would you take the hot shot class? Where would you recommend? I mean, would you recommend it to others? I took all of my classes through Right Lane. So if you, I'm gonna recommend them because I'll say this: they gave me a lot of information. They keep up with me, and they made sure that I was ready to do this. Well, they actually did a revamp. When I took the classes, I had a whole lot of information, but I didn't quite know how to apply it. And then I met this lady under a face YouTube video, and she, like in 10 minutes, I was rolling because I had all of the knowledge. I just didn't know how to apply it, which is why I'm here today because I want other people to do it and don't have to spend all that money. I took my classes through Right Lane. Um, and I actually got my first client was a hot shot client, Keats. And good morning. Yes, run me my. Come on, Denise, Monica. Um, you have a license? No, you do not need to have a license. You do need to set up your business. If you want to be a dispatching business, you do got to do your stuff, your EIN, your LLC, your banking account. You want to be set up as a business. You don't want to just be because there needs to be some type of accountability. You like what are you? Who are you? How are you visible? How do I know that you like me? I got I got my website. I got a DOT number, even though I didn't need it. Don't get y'all no DOT number. But I am able to be found. When you put in my business name, you can find me as a registered business. You need to be have some type of accountability for the people. Um, thanks for my money. Do you have to have a license? Yeah, okay. Looking for a factoring company. Can you please give the info for Porter? Yes, ma'am. I'll actually when we finish Paula, I'll go and tag you because I have it on there already. Got my guy on there. Um La Paris, if you're doing it for your fiance and he has an established business, which I seen you have established his business, you don't have to do anything because you're actually dispatching under him. You work for him. But if you decide you want to take on clients, you need to establish your business as a dispatching business. You're welcome. Um, oh, I'm so glad y'all are interacting. I appreciate the questions. Um, I got you, Willie. Matter of fact, let me write you and Paula down. Willie Irvin Jr. and Paula Collins. Yep. And this is even the stuff with Porter. Monica, I got you, Monica. You have to still, Denise, um, educate your owner operator because I had to let my owner operator know that hey, can you find out if they can pay me because this is what happens when you got owner operators that already have some money. They don't be checking their accounts like they should. You know, when you got little money, you check every penny. But when you got a little coinage, you don't be worried about it. So I found myself having to say, hey, did Porter deposit the payment? And then it would be like, oh, okay, I'll Zelle it over to you right now. I did that like twice. Then I say, hey, how you doing, brother corporate? I need you to contact Porter and find out if there's a way that I can get paid when you get paid. Because having to contact you and prompt you for work that I've done that you didn't have to prompt me to do, my bank account don't sit like your bank account. So I'm gonna need my little coinage a little bit quicker. And we got it done. So I said every dispatcher that I come across, I'm going to give him or her this information because yes, it might be $16, $27, $84, but it's mine. It's a little piece of gas or a piece of candy every other day. So yeah, let me get that. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. Heaven smile upon you. Give me my tithes and offering. Hear me? Um, can address what? Desiree. So let me hold on. Let me turn this heat off. I done got a little, a little. Why is this stuck? Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. I done got a little warm. Oh, now it's making a little squeaky squeaky. So yeah. So going to the. If there's no more questions at the moment, paying it. Amazon does not do it. They don't even take it into consideration because they pay direct deposit every week. It's there. I don't know if you all know who have it, but it be there on Thursday night. My clients actually have Chase. So on Thursday night by 11, the deposit be there. The coinage be ready to spend. Well, they won't pay the dispatcher because the dispatcher, we are hired by our clients. You have to remember, as a dispatcher, Empty Nest works for Trip and Transport, which is who my client is. So Amazon, none of the companies, Trip and Transport is who Amazon pays because that's who can have an account with Amazon. Empty Nest LLC, I can't have an account with Amazon. So I am nobody. I am a ghost. As far as Amazon is concerned, I am Trip and Transport. So that's why we won't be paid as a dispatcher because we're not seen as a dispatcher. Um, okay, so let me. So going to the packet. I think almost all of you have the packet, but if you remember it, if you don't, let me know. I'll send it to you after. Oh, let me say this for those of you who are watching who don't interact. Please interact in the group. I no longer check my inbox because it takes too much time to try to go through there and look for messages that I don't even know are supposed to be there. So if you contact me via inbox, you need to let me know publicly that I need to be looking for a message. But I need for you all to be asking your questions here. You have to wait for the owner operator to pay you weekly from. Yes, I do. My owner operator actually pays me Saturday morning at 10 a.m. because he says on their business account that when the payment comes, it's in a pending status on his account. Um, at first, he was trying to pay me, from out of their bank account, but I told him do not do that. Like I told you all from the beginning, pay everything and do everything from this business because your personal account ain't gonna mean nothing to your personal accountant or your CPA and you trying to get back what you paid from personal. If you got to pay me Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, I'm good with that because we already, are you already hooking me up by allowing me to get paid every day and every other day when you get paid from Porter? So I can wait till Saturday morning at 10 when you clearing and you paying us all. I'm good with that. But these are things that you will set with your client. So you're here 5 days a week from 8 till I don't have the package. Barbara. I work. Well, this is that's a good question, Barbara. Hold on. Let me get La Paris first. Wait, KT. So you have to wait for them to pay. Okay, answer that. When you go under Amazon, how is the first 30 days? I seen on another page you have to do the first 10 loads with no percentages. Is that true? I'm not sure about that. I know that we did. I didn't even pay attention to that, La Paris, but I'll go back and look. I don't know really know what percentages are, but I know that when we took the first few loads, after that I started seeing more loads added and higher paying loads. So I'll have to look into that. My email, Toya, is mking@empteenest.com. Barbara. So you're here 5 days a week from 8 a.m. until I don't have the package. I'm so thankful for it. Thank you so much. So when I first started and I was looking at people and I was saying, how are they on here talking about dispatchers available 24 hours a day? How how you getting some that you can't get no work life balance if you are available for people 24 hours a day? What? Well, as I became a dispatcher, like getting into the groove of things, I have now become a 24-hour dispatcher. However, there is still work life balance. So, what I've done is I used to work 8 to 6. That's when I first got started. You really think I this is my business. I'm gonna be working 8 to 6, and after 6 o'clock, all hearts and minds better be clear, because may the Lord watch betwixt me and thee. You hear me? Now unto him who is able. I'm out. 6 o'clock. My husband get home from work. I'm going in here and cooking.